There's Dave Nicholas, our driver of the year for 2020 in that B sedan. He is a 6-time SVRA national champion. That's the Lewis Hamilton of vintage racing right there.
There you go. That's an accolade for you. Here we go then. Green flag waves here at Sebring as they dive towards that first corner, spreading out nicely. And everybody jostling for position, but right in the center is our big sponsor and the man who makes it all happen, Mr. Gonzalez, as he dives into the first corner. A host of BMWs, beautifully prepared. A lot, about 4 or 5 Alfa Romeos, the odd Porsche. A couple of 91114 Porsches. And everybody at the moment looks as though they're scuttling through nicely through turn 3 and 4. Got to be careful not to get too wide on the exit of 5 there. And then under the bridge for Big Bren for the first time down towards the hairpin turn 7. And an overtake coming here, the BMW under power.
As it should. That 914 should be able to outbrake that BMW E36, but then that BMW should be able to get the power. But I got to give it up for Juan Gonzalez because I know that Leo and his team prepare a really nice car. I think he bypassed the IGT race so that he could race the new to him 914 that I believe was built by Brady at the 901 shop. So that is a 9146, meaning it's a 914 body with a 911 engine, giving it a little bit more power. And Juan Gonzalez, I think he's an IMSA champion, raced in Trans Am, a long-running history. But also, if you know anything about Juan Gonzalez and Mission Foods, huge supporter of motorsports. If you are a fan of motorsports and you're not eating Mission chips and Mission flour tortillas, salsa queso, then you're not a true fan because he's sponsoring 2 Indy cars. He's sponsoring IndyCar races, SpeedTour events, Trans Am cars.
And so, 2 wheels too, Jared Mees and a few
that's
others.
Right.
He's got right across the board,
If you really call yourself a fan, make sure you're drinking Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers, Big Machine Vodka, you're eating Mission chips, and you're supporting the companies that support motorsports like Mission Foods.
The beauty of this series, of course, is that these are the kings of industry. So they race and they put in, as it were.
This is going to be the race, though. Lisa Hansen, Juan Gonzalez. Juan looks like he's got a little bit of an aero advantage, but no offense, Juan, he's got a little bit more downforce than Lisa Hansen.
Somebody again going onto the dust, but gathering it all. Through comes the 81. That's Nicholas Clemens. The 81A.
Great shot where you can see under the car how much space is under. Now watch the bumps here as they come around 17. Really bumpy through there, that E36. Now this is 2 different classes of racing. So Ernie Wilding in that 1995 BMW M3 is in Group 12, followed by Juan Gonzalez, Lisa Hansen, and Clements in Group 8. So Group 8 is 1972 or older. Group 12 is 1973 or newer. As Juan Gonzalez from Mission Foods goes around his own corner, Mission Foods turn 3.
There you go. Got the logo up there.
There's Dawn Myers. Glad to have her back. Her brother, Todd Treffert, was here racing with us in a 911 and a beautiful Nissan Skyline that he bought from the Nissan Museum in Japan. And Todd Treffert, I'm starting to think that I might be your bad luck on that car. You might need to just race that far away from me because it's such a beautiful car and he just seems to have bad luck around me. That's Frank Boucher, Bobby Boucher's long lost uncle right there, and that's 911.
Bobby Boucher.
1969.
It sounds more racy as Boucher, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Anytime you can get a little bit more of a European flair to your name, it does sound a little faster.
Well, my race name's Juan Verde.
Juan Verde, Jonathan Green, that's good. Juan Verde sounds faster.
Doesn't it? That's what I thought.
Coming into Franklin Road, turn 7, you can see these cars when they hit the brakes, they drift to the left and the right. That's just vintage cars under braking as we look at that. Vince Vaccaro, what a beautiful car with that GoPro on the top. Vince, I'm going to want that footage. That might be Jared Kahlo's doing right there, the new SVRA video person. Putting that great shot up there. So Tom Benjamin and Vince Vaccaro, very equally yoked cars. This should be a good race.
And for those who aspire to do this kind of racing or are interested, you often post on the SVRA site and on YouTube onboards just for the sake of it. Like,
yeah,
hey, have a look at this.
So
it really does give a really good insight just to sit there and watch the onboards.
Yeah, Ashley Ongst does such a great job with our social media. We call her Smashly. And so she posts a video just about every day. Super busy, doing great work, working with our sponsors. So probably by Monday or Tuesday, we're going to have some Mission Foods branded videos of these two Alphas racing right here. Tom Benjamin's really fast Alfa Romeo driver, Vince Vaccaro. This looks like a great B sedan race back here with Bibbo in that BMW. So if you don't know, B sedan was a lot of different cars, but primarily Alfa Romeo versus BMW 2000 versus Datsun 510s. As we see Dawn Meyer with that 901 shop car right there in that 911. She's going to try to work her way back through. I think she might have had problems on the pace lap, worked it out. Here she comes.
These Alphas going to have to sort themselves out as they come into 3.
Look at that. This is what's so great about vintage racing. If you're just tuning in for the first time, trying to figure this out, this is not parade laps. This is wheel-to-wheel racing. We do not allow metal-to-metal contact, but it happens, obviously. But we want these drivers to build the cars once. They never go obsoleted. This is wheel-to-wheel racing, and sometimes the mid-of-the-pack racing, like we're seeing right now, is the best racing on the track. And no matter if you're racing for first or 51st, if you have people to race with like they do here as we zoom in on Dawn Meyer, you're having the time of your life. And so many of these drivers have been racing together 20, 30 years. They know exactly what each other is going to do. And the camaraderie in there is just fantastic. They all help each other. They all have beers with each other at the end of the day. So much fun. Like, for instance, this weekend, the CEO of Jim Farley is here. The CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, Ford Motor Company.
He's probably also the
Pretty
CEO of Jim Farley, too.
Yeah, he is. I don't know. His wife may be. Dawn Meyer's there. But he's just here at night having tacos and beers with his buddies, talking about racing like any racing car driver should. Monday through Friday, he's the CEO of Ford. Saturdays and Sundays, when he can, he's Jim Farley, the winning race car driver.
No one could argue it's wasted time. Ford's history in racing and how they've learned from making cars for the people and obviously going racing with them, all part of it. But, yeah, the tradition continues.
Okay, so here's two rival Porsche shops, Acuri versus 901. And when I say rival, they're close friends, and they share parts.
Didn't Henry Ford himself come to one of the races last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, came down.
Henry Ford the third or fourth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Henry Ford came, that'd be a miracle. So Dawn Meyer makes that pass, moving up. So let's ask the crowd here in the comments section, what are you guys watching in this? You like the BMWs that's making the pass right there on
nicely
Vince Vaccaro? Or do you like the
Squeaking
Alphas?
through.
Do you like the Porsches? Which cars are you rooting for? Because the great thing about this production car racing is everybody has a connection. You know, Porsche, BMW, Alfa Romeo, they're still around. You can buy those cars today, the new iterations of those cars, and go to the grocery store. But so many people say, hey, man, the E30 back there behind that Corvette, one of the greatest platforms
I love that Beamer.
Racing and for going. So it's just, these are common cars that people drive to the grocery store, and people are out there racing them. Everybody's got a connection. What kind of connection do you have with these kind of cars?
So we're watching the battle between 4th, 5th, and 6th. Dawn Meyer's now up to 5th place. Frank Boucher in the BMW, that grey or silver BMW, just ahead of Tom Benjamin. John Bebo dropping down to 8th, but that battle continues. He's in the silver 2002 BMW, which is absolutely one of my favorites.
Dawn Meyer's gap in the field right here. I love it.
Yeah, she's going good in 4th.
She is one of the most competitive people in our paddock. Really great race car driver. She had one of my favorite MGAs, and she's moved up in power to that 911. Her brother Todd races a 911 with us as well, and her dad races a beautiful, like 58, 59-ish solid axle Corvette.
John Miller just going through shot there earlier in number 11A in 10th position.
Hey, there's Andrew Uzorowski's Land Rover in the background. I just texted him. It's a beautiful Land Rover that he brought down on the train from Washington, D.C., the car train. I think that's pretty cool. There's Bibbo, Vince Vaccaro, beautiful. That's a great
there's
shot.
John Miller.
Look at that.
Colors.
You know, I know Corvette and the CompuWare Corvette's the yellow, but I really liked this blue era of the Corvette as well.
Yep.
So like I was commenting there with that Land Rover, it's cool. We come to Watkins Glen, Lime Rock, and Sebring. A lot of people drive their classic vintage cars, their really cool collector cars, to these events because they know it's a paddock full of car enthusiasts. So even just going around the spectator area is full of the coolest cars.
Which saw the 81 going through. We've been lucky with the weather. No rain this weekend, thankfully. And once again into sunset. 5 minutes to go then. Ernie Wilding setting a really good pace. His best lap of 2:27.2, which is no slow coach at all. And that was set on lap 4. And he's picked up about a 12-second gap now over Juan Gonzalez in that 9:14. Lisa Hansen having a great day in 3rd position. Nicholas Clements in 4th.
So the boy from New York is commenting that he raced a 914 for the first time.
What do you think?
So I think the boy from New York should come racing with us.
Yeah.
He loved it. Who doesn't like racing? So
How
in
hard is it to get the
2004,
license?
so the blue was a commemorative blue Corvette in that year is what I'm hearing from Downforce 65, who's been giving me all kinds of great insight today. So keep it up, Downforce 65. I love this. I can pretend like I'm an expert. I should stop
you're giving
saying
away
their
your
names,
knowledge.
yeah.
That's the thing. You're telling everybody where you're getting it.
Maybe that's how Mike Joy does it. He's just got all these people telling him because the amount of knowledge that Mike Joy has is amazing.
I can tell you that. That's the truth. He's got statisticians. But he races with us. So
yeah, he does.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he's a racer as well. It's good to know. But look at this guy.
He's in SVRA.
Yeah, he's in the historic Trans Am class. Yeah.
He did I think he did the historic Trans Am at Laguna last
Ernie
year.
Wilding. What a great name for a race car driver.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Ernie Wilding with that beautiful BMW M3 1995 leading in Group 12. GT. Group 12B MP2. If any of you know what the MP2 stands for, leave a message for that. And there he is, Juan Gonzalez.
Second place. And this is the final lap now.
And there's Lisa Hansen, our new SVRA Driver of the Year. And that is the big award in SVRA. Everybody's competing to win races, to win championships. But it's an award that the SVRA staff have no say in who wins it. It's all decided by past SVRA Drivers of the Year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a great
So that
idea.
is an award of their peers, the most coveted award probably in vintage racing in North America. And it shows that there's all this criteria that comes into it. And Lisa fits the mold just perfectly.
I like the way they do that then. That's good. So final lap here, and you saw going through shot the top 3 and how they're spread out. But Ernie Wilding having a great day. There's second place. There's third. And that Porsche of Lisa Hansen. Very smooth.
Yeah, oh, fantastic driver. So at one of the events, I did a foot cam with her because she's got a white floorboard. The engine's in the rear. There's no transmission tunnel. Her footwork in the car is like a ballet or a dance. It is unbelievable, the amount of inputs that she's putting into that car, putting it right in the right place on the track. Really skilled driver. Now, her dad was a big driver and helps run a Curie Power, a Porsche group there out of Florida and Wisconsin. But just a phenomenal racing car driver. And I believe she does something in like IT or software in the Chicago area. She's actually helped me out with some things in the past. One of those drivers that I can call for some video on Dropbox and she can send it to me immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's out here in her spare time. racing with us.
Well, here comes your leader to the final corner now. Ernie Wilding in that beautiful BMW Motorsport 182 from the mid-90s. He's going to take the checkered flag as he goes through Sunset Bend. And sure enough, just out of the corner of my eye, I see the checkered flag, and then he does it too. Flashes the lights. And like I said, second place, Juan Gonzalez coming down the Almond Straight now. There's third place just behind. And a good outing and a good clean race. No problems.
Hey,
no
Juan,
hold-ups.
congratulations. That is a well-built new car. Brady, the 901 shop, built some great cars. Juan Gonzalez winning his class. Mission Foods, Group 8. Way to go, Juan. Butch Leitzinger, Leo, the whole team, Brady, the 901 shop. A lot of effort there, and you know Juan Gonzalez is going to be happy. Lisa Hansen, second place on the podium as always.
Yes, sir. So, as they do their cool-down lap, let's take a look at some of the highlights of what we just saw, which is our Group 8 and 12B. It got away well. The BMW used its grunt to get ahead of the mission-sponsored 914, and once ahead at the hairpin, he never looked back and pulled a massive lead. Good battle for second and third, though, between Hansen in the Porsche in the number 110 and the 914 of Juan Gonzalez. But there was battles throughout. The Alphas went side by side through turn one. The Porsches doing exactly the same. And a nice little move up the inside by the BMW at Sunset. But it was this BMW, the 182 of Ernie Wilding, with a very confident and clean performance here to win the overall Group 8 and 12B race.